Game audible, yes. Good. Games sound good. I always forget to check. Is the game audio good compared to my voice? I realize I should probably check that before we start playing a video game. And I never do. How are audio levels? I think, like, the music is a good basis, because I think the music is the loudest component of these games. Ah. Alright. Let's play a video game. We're gonna talk to Paul? No, we're not gonna talk to Paul right away. We're gonna talk to our party members, because we have a mission. I think it's good. Music is audible, doesn't overpower you. Okay, cool. As you approach, Ager turns to face you. Her rifle has been field stripped and is lying in pieces on a sheet of butcher paper. Arranged in a neat row along the edge of the paper are bottles of copper solvent, bore cleaner, and lighter fluid. Our fearless leader returns. What do you need? I'd like to hear about your time in the KSK. She shakes her head. No, I'm not in the habit of sharing war stories, Novacat. Not with people who've never served. Why? You think that I wouldn't understand? No, it isn't that. You've been under fire before, you'd get it. But I don't share war stories with civilians. You may be a Shadowrunner, but you were never a soldier. It doesn't have to be a war story, I just want a better idea of who I'm running with. She looks you in the eye for a moment, evaluating. Finally, she shrugs. Alright, Novacat, you win. I owe everything to my time in the KSK. Hold on. We're gonna do a lore checkup. Because we've had the KSK mentioned multiple times. Oh, so they're just special forces. But who are they special forces for? Hello, Kuyi. Not Germany. Yeah, I think a dragon has fallen. At least in lore. What the fuck is the KSK? Where is it? Allied German states? Oh, yeah. So the KSK are the Commando Special Craft. So like special commandos, I guess. For the Bundeswehr. Which is the Bundeswehr is the name of the AGS military. That's the Allied German states. It consists of the three branches here: Army, Luftwaffe, Air Force, and Marine Navy. It also controls three of the AGS government's elite forces: Commando, so Special Forces Command, or KSK, hazard teams which respond to chemical, biological, nuclear, nanotechnology incidents, and long-range reconnaissance unit teams. Okay, so basically she was in the army with the Allied German states. Okay. Tell me how you got your street name. Or tell me about your team. That's not what I meant to click on, but that's what we clicked on. She nods. Fair enough. I guess that you've earned it. There were 8 of us. 2 commando squads working together as a single unit. Schmidt and Lange were combat techers. Wolf was a rigger and combat engineer. Fisher handled demolitions. Braun was a medic. And the rest of us, Metzger, Kruger, and myself, were weapons experts. Our mission was extraterritorial. Technically illegal, but important enough to justify the risk. We'd been sent across the border into Poland. The Russian mafia had set up a cottage industry and human trafficking all along the Oder-Neisse line, and it was our job to disrupt it. We were a good team, experienced. We went through a lot together, and we chalked up a lot of kills. In our own way, I'd like to think that we did some good. Tell me how you got your street name. Back when I was in basic training, a fellow recruit made a vulgar joke at my expense. He said that I reminded him of the north face of the Eger, the Bernese Alps. Huge and beautiful, but dangerous to climb. His tone left little doubt as to what sort of climbing he had in mind. I think that he was trying to proposition me in his clumsy way. poking me in front of the other recruits to try to provoke a reaction. She shrugs. Anyway, he got one. I broke 3 of his ribs and the name stuck. Remind me not to proposition you. A frown crosses her face. Either you're trying to be cute or you've completely missed the point. Neither would surprise me. I didn't break his ribs because he propositioned me, Novacat. I'm not a goddamn savage. I put that recruit down because he demeaned me, and he did it in front of our peers. Calm down, Ager, I was just joking. Funny, that's exactly what the recruit said as he was being dragged off to the medic's tent. It was just a joke, I didn't mean anything by it. I was never reprimanded by the top brass, though. They knew what I knew. Whatever that recruit's intent, he put me in a situation that required a response. Hey, Ager, does this sound familiar? At all? Okay, I stand corrected. You might mean that, or you could just be trying to de-escalate the situation. You tell me, fearless leader. You want to hear why I did what I did, or would you rather I just drop it? Because there are plenty of other things that I could be doing right now. Go ahead, tell me. Alright, I will. As soon as that idiot made his little joke, it was a foregone conclusion that I was getting saddled with the nickname Ager. My only choice in the matter was whether it happened under his terms or under mine. If I hadn't broken that twit's ribs, the name Ager would have meant a difficult sexual conquest to a whole barracks full of recruits. That's what I would have been to them from that point on. My own accomplishments be damned. Thanks to what I did, my new name meant the troll who doesn't take shit from anyone instead. It's a name I'm proud to go by, and I've hung on to it ever since. Ager pauses for a moment, then looks you in the eye. A word of advice to you, Novacat. If anyone puts you in the position that he put me in, if he demeans you in front of your unit, whatever his intent, the appropriate response is to put that person down. Hard. Out in the field, nothing will kill you faster than losing the respect of your team. By that logic, I should have broken your ribs after Monica died. In your place, I would have. She looks you up and down, appraising you. Not that you would have succeeded if you tried, but in terms of saving face, it would have done wonders. In all seriousness, Novacat, I'm sorry that I put you in that position. I shouldn't have, and I acknowledge that. She straightens. Need anything else, or can I get back to preparing for our next run? Who is in command? Metzger, best leader I've ever had the pleasure of serving under. Her face clouds. He was a hell of a man. But he went down with the rest of the team. Everyone but me. What happened to the team? She shakes her head. No, that's one story that I won't be telling. They died. That's all you need to know. Thanks, Ager. So, was there something else you wanted to talk about? Or can I get back to cleaning my rifle? Any thoughts about the last run? After all of the moral ambiguity that we've been wading through, hitting Humanist was incredibly satisfying. What they had planned, it makes my blood boil just thinking about it. The thought of Stahl lying dead on the ground brings a smile to my face. I hope that he enjoys rotting in hell. Yeah, you're right. I also hope that. No more questions. Thank you, Ager. She turns back to the disassembled components of her rifle. Sure thing, fearless leader. Good talk. I feel like whenever she says that, it is just oozing with sarcasm. She doesn't think I'm a fearless leader at all. Same. You know what? I feel like we just haven't progressed this dialogue at any point. You sure? You look like you're a million miles away. I'll be with you when it counts. Right now, it doesn't. Okay. I have a question for you, Glory. Of the personal kind? I am not big on sharing, sport. Personal reasons, you understand, I'm sure. The edge in her voice tells you that she's not interested in continuing this conversation. Sure, I understand, but I still need to talk to you. Glory lets out a weary sigh. Ask your questions, but do it quickly. I have things to do. You kind of started running the shadows much more than 5 years ago, tops. So, what's with the vintage chrome? It was cheap. It gets the job done. She shrugs. End of discussion. I don't think so. I've known a lot of street Sams in my time, but I've never met anyone who'd voluntarily install cyberware that old. You're right. There's more to it that I'm letting on, but I'm not interested in talking about it. Alright. I can't help but notice that you seem guarded, withdrawn. That's my problem and none of your concern. If you talk to me, I can help. I doubt it, Chummer. I doubt it very much. But I appreciate the sentiment. Maybe later, when we know one another better, we can get into it. Now, is there anything else that you need? I have another question. I guess that's it. I guess I can't ask her about, I can't ask her about jobs? Which is interesting. Novacat, welcome back. I have news for you. What? The way I just said welcome back, what did that remind me of? Oh, it reminded me of fucking Phasmophobia. In your absence, I have been looking into the Harfield Manor. Whatever Fireshwing is up to, it is both large-scale and well-funded. I've uncovered a money trail leading from holding companies all over the world to an offshore fund with a dummy address. From there, all of that freshly laundered money flows directly into the Harfeld estate. Wait a second, why would the dragon have investors? That doesn't make sense. It's doubtful that the Firewing's pawns even know where their money is going. This is typical of draconic plots. Uncover a stream of money flowing behind the scenes, and there's a fair chance that you'll find a dragon at the receiving end of it. Glory will kind of cut off your ability to ask for the last job when you do her convos. Oh, I guess she just gets tired of talking. To a dragon, conspiracy is second nature. But Fireshwing was different. She didn't scheme or plot, she acted. Yes, and look at where it got her. When the Firewing launched her attack on humanity, it was an act of hubris. She lashed out because she didn't consider our species to be a threat. It would be equally hubristic for us to assume that she will make the same mistake twice. I will continue digging into this while you and the team tackle your next run. With luck, I will have more information to share upon your return. Sounds good, Paul. One last thing, Novacat. Malate was able to restore the readable surface of one of Green Winter's DVDs. If you'd like to take a look, you will find it sitting beside the player. Just one of them? She's still working on the others. Many of them are extensively damaged, and getting anything off of them is proving to be quite a chore. She has told me that she'll be in touch if and when she makes any headway. Thanks, Paul. Paul's very helpful for a landlord. Paul is the only good landlord. Love the second DVD. Wow, that's a lot of tracks. Alright. As I said in my last recording, I've been having trouble finding hard facts on Fireshwing, so I thought I'd open things up a bit. Let's see what the rumor mill has to say. The screen jumps, and Winters reappears in a different location. He is now clutching a mug of soy calf in both hands, and there are bags under his eyes. Well, that was enlightening. Assuming that any of it was true, that is. So, for the past 5 hours, I've been poking around some of the crazier fringe theories related to dragons and the SOX. As a reminder, the SOX is an irradiated wasteland between France and Germany. It got zoned off back in 2008 after the Cattenom GAU reactor meltdown. Anyway, there are all kinds of rumors floating around about the place. I've heard stories about a walled city in there that operates on a survival of the fittest, kill or be killed basis. Sort of like a nightmare inversion of Berlin. All of the anarchy, but none of the stability that the F-state provides. The radiation poisoning, cancer, and mana pollution are just icing on the cake. Mana pollution would be like radiation, but magic. I think that one was obvious, but I figured I'd explain it. So, when Adrian helped the Luftwaffe shoot Fireshwing down, she crashed into the SOX. That much is well known. What isn't as well known are all of the modern day myths that have arisen about her since. And tonight I've heard an earful. I chatted up a girl who claimed to be a ghost rat. That's a smuggler who operates in the SOX. She told me about a dragon cult called the Disciples of the Cleaning Fire. Apparently, these cultists worship some sort of radioactive ghost dragon. Could be Fireshwing or it could be nothing, but it's worth digging into all the same. Radioactive ghost dragon is like the coolest thing in the fucking world. Shadowrun is so fucking cool. Another thing that my little ghost rat told me, the popular rumor in the SOX, is that Fireshwing's astral form was, I guess you'd say, mutated by all of that background radiation. Some of the glow punks out there say that she's shed her body like an old coat. Others say that she's trapped, doomed to languish as an intangible radioactive ghost. I don't know how much credence to give any of this. After all, I don't have any proof that my ghost rat is even a ghost rat. She might be, but then she could also be a run-of-the-mill glowpunk. Or maybe she's just yanking my chain and she's never been into the SOX at all. Who knows? Well, it's food for thought anyway. I don't know whether the thought of some radioactive ghost dragon thing is any scarier than a genuine dragon is, but it's interesting, all the same. Now, the big question is, will any of this get me any closer to finding Adrian? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say no, but you never can tell. So the thing that I really appreciate about these DVDs is that they do fill in the lore of Germany and Shadowrun a lot in very interesting ways. Alright, let's continue thinking outside the box. After the Dragonfall, the great dragon Kaltenstein came flying into the SOX to rescue the Firewing. But he was driven off, some say killed, by Lofweir and Nibelher. So, what if there's another dragon involved in all of this? Winters grabs a thick leather-bound tome from a shelf behind him, licks a finger, and begins to leaf through it. Alright, so let's run down the list of major dragons that could be helping her. Alright, here we fucking go. Here's the real shit. First, there's the Golden Worm Lofweir, the CEO of Saderkrupp, and quite possibly the single most dangerous being on Earth. Lofweir's a local boy, so he'd be in a position to help Fireshwing. He certainly has the financial capability to help her. He could send a small army into the SOX if he wanted to. So he's definitely got the means, but I can't see how he'd have the motive. He actively prevented the Firewing's rescue back in 2012, after all. Same thing is true for Nibel here, so let's scratch the both of them off the list. He flips a page, frowning. We've got Aden, the Great Surush. He's operating out of Turkey. By all accounts, he's not a fan of Lofweir. They're actively competing for territory in the Middle East. So I suppose that could be considered motive. Reviving the Firewing might cause problems for the Golden Worm. But would he risk war with Saderkrupp by straying onto Lofweir's territory? Again, I don't think it's likely. He turns another page. There's Seladir out of Wales. He's pretty heavily invested in Transit's Neuronet, so he's got the money. But he's too busy dealing with the BTL killer scandal that Transit is going through out in London to get his claws dirty in the SOX. Flip. Dunkelzahn, out in the UCAS. He pauses, shakes his head, then he slams the tome shut. No, this is a waste of time. The more I think about it, the more convinced I am. The Firewing is acting alone. Dragons don't cooperate unless they absolutely have to. After all, why bother making nice with your equals when you've got an entire planet full of pawns at your disposal? They don't need to work together. They have us to exploit. So, I think something interesting about Shadowrun dragons that I'm gonna have to refresh my memory of is, I believe that they have their own kind of like pocket universes. Let me double check this. Like, I think they have functionally like planets in a pocket universe. And they have like pawns on that planet. Yeah, I think... I can't remember that. I feel like I heard that on the Neo-Anarchist podcast, but it's been a while since I listened to it, so I will have to refresh my memory, and none of the wikis mention that. So it might be, like, a pretty minor piece of lore that's not addressed very much. But yeah, I think they have, like, pocket dimensions or, like, planets or something that they have, like, that, like, thousands upon thousands of spirits occupy. And, like, follow the whim of the dragon. Oh yeah, I was also gonna look up... Dunkelzahn is actually a really interesting dragon. Let me look up Dunkelzahn for y'all, because Dunkelzahn is great. So, I believe Dunkelzahn is the host of the show that Monica was really excited to watch at the start of the game, Worm Talk. So, this kind of gets into epilogue spoilers a little bit for this game. But, Dunkelzahn is like a Western Great Dragon. He primarily, operates in the UCAS, which is the United Canadian and American States. And he eventually actually became, president of the UCAS. And I believe Dunkelzahn, of all dragons, has always been the most willing to talk with humanity and meta-humanity and be like, hey, like, here's kind of what's going on. Here's the deal. That's why he hosts the show Worm Talk. To kind of, like, keep everybody abreast of what the fuck is going on, because, like, the Awakening is some shit. And, like, humanity has no idea what the fuck is going on. And I think he originally awakened in 2012. Yeah. Yeah. Wait, whoa! Here's a little tidbit that I didn't know. Dunkelzahn had a fascination with the Matrix and was indeed quite net-savvy. He was, up until his death, a devotee of the Shadowland BBS. His most common handle was the Big D, although he occasionally used his actual name. Okay, so if we ever look at the Shadowlands BBS and see a poster that goes by the Big D, then that's Dunkelzahn, and that's really fucking interesting. So apparently Dunkelzahn's name means Darktooth, which is a cool fucking dragon name. Anyway. Okay, this one's corrupted. Vauclair, my big bro, searching Firewing. I'll swear to... Alien? I will find you. It's the last old... not getting any closer. Swear to... New research. Turning up. Probably nothing. Don't know... The screen goes black and the same digital chime that you heard on the Dragonfall DVD plays again. A crackle of static fills the air, followed by that same now familiar electronic whine. A few moments later, the display goes live. Oh. Vauclair looks haggard. His eyes are heavily bagged and bloodshot, and his hair is mussed. He holds a cigarette in an unsteady hand. Hermie, it's me. I can't sleep. I don't know where you are. Out having fun, no doubt. Maybe flirting with one of those unattainable beauties that you're always chasing. He tries on a smile, but it quickly disappears. He takes a drag on his cigarette. That's good. I want you to live a pleasant, normal life. After all, one of us should. Vauclair rubs his eyes. I can still smell the smoke, Hermie. It's almost a year later, and I can still taste the stench of burning corpses. When I sleep, I can hear the sirens and the screams. There is no sound in this world as horrible as a burn victim's screams. The doctors would call this PTSD, I'm sure. They'd have me in therapy, maybe dose me up on SSRIs like they do to our veteran soldiers. He chuckles, then takes another drag. Quite a story for the tabloids. The great dragon slayer, Adrian Vauclair, mentally incapable of wrestling with his own demons. He shakes his head. No therapy for me, and certainly no medication. I have a reputation to live up to, however poorly deserved it is, and however little I want it. He pauses, stubs out his cigarette. The dragon is still alive, Hermie. Of that I am certain. One day I will find her, and then, perhaps, I'll be able to sleep through the night. It kind of makes me curious what Adrian is haunted by. Because, like, that seems more aggressive than if he just hadn't killed, Firewing, you know? Search BBS for relevant keywords. Transys Highlander, best new deck? Just got one of these from a Transys NeuroNet rep, and wants to sell them in my store, so I took the puppy for a test drive. Signal quality's insane. Makes for a huge difference in comfort decking fatigue. I can stay jacked in for hours and feel fine. Last session I had to set a timer just so I wouldn't forget to eat. The specs on that thing look impressive, but I'm an Allegiance man. Does the comfort really make that much of a difference? My decks are generally beaters anyway. Allegiance? What are you doing with that thing? Playing video games? Any serious decking is going to require way more horsepower than that thing can push, even overclocked. Only a crappy decker blames their gear. I do just fine, thanks. Lumens, how much is Transys paying you to post this shiza on here? Boy, chummers, I could use your help. Every time I jack into the Matrix these days, I'm flooded with junk mail. There's so much of it I can't even see. Can anyone help me? Great, another newbie who thinks he's on a tech support board. Hey, stuff it, I wouldn't ask, but I'm desperate. I can't deck like this. Alright, Thunder, calm down. It sounds like an ad bot is keyed into your deck. Been poking around anywhere sketchy lately? I don't need details, a simple yes or no will do. No, Bandit, I haven't been anywhere like that, I swear. Please help me. What you want to bet he gave his personal info to some scam site? I'll give you 10 to 1 odds. No, I don't think so. All I've done was make an online dating profile. Let me guess. Meet and mate? How did you guess? That's not a real dating site, Thunder. It's a place where desperate people go to get infected with malware. But what do I do? How do I make it stop? I don't know. Buy a new deck. Best of luck. It's great. It's good shit. Oh. I fucking love this game. What a good fucking game. I have emails. The screen flickers to life and Maxim's face appears. He's wearing a broad grin and you can hear the sounds of celebration in the background. Hey there, Muscle. Not sure if Tuck gave me the right address, but I figured it was worth a shot. I don't know if you heard, but our favorite Poly Club got hit from all sides by the F-State today. It was glorious. Anyway, just thought you want to share in the good news. And thanks for your help back there. I don't think we'd have made it out of there without you. He raises a hand and salute. Take care, Novacat. Fuck yeah. Fuck Humanus. Eat shit, assholes. Alexander to Novacat. Hey, Novacat, Uncle Diedrich told me that I could message you here, so I figured that I should. He probably told you that I'm living at Samuel's, huh? Well, that's where I am. It's different, I'll give you that much. I like that I don't get pressured to hurt people here, so that's good. And nobody smacks me around, even though I can tell that a lot of the orcs and trolls want to. I do get yelled at a lot and called a lot of names, but I guess that making me feel bad about that kind of thing is all part of the plan. Life kind of sucks right now, but at least nobody is going to make me kill anyone. Uncle D says that it's going to get better, and maybe it will. I don't know. Anyway, what I mostly wanted to say was thanks for not killing me back at the Humanus compound. I had a gun on you, so you totally could have, but you didn't, and I'm really glad about that. Thanks, Alexander. Hey, it's super cool of you to not kill me. I really appreciate that. It's like, it's rad, actually. That's really funny. Alright, here we go. MK6 prototype extraction. Amsel's face winks onto the screen. Novacat, here you will find the complete transcript of my conversation with Herr Schmidt, a potential client. As you will see, the details of the job are a bit more vague than I would like, but the payout is quite substantial. After reading the transcript, you may choose whether or not to accept the job. If you respond in the affirmative, our client will be notified, and I will make all necessary preparations for the run. Yeah, it's pretty bleak, huh, Catherine? Fuck Humanus. Absolutely fuck Humanus. One other thing. Herr Schmidt provided me with a device to assist you on the run. He calls it a little black box. Apparently, it can be used to compromise the power and security systems of the run site. If you opt to take the job, be sure to take it with you. Amsel's image flickers, then winks away. A moment later, a glowing blue text field begins to scroll up from the bottom of the screen. Greetings, Herr Amsel. I trust that this connection is secure. Naturally. To whom do I have the pleasure of speaking? Call me Herr Schmidt. So, tidbit, little information. I don't know if it's interesting, but it's just something I know. Herr Schmidt is a name for Shadowrun clients. It's like a generic name. Like how in Shadowrun Returns, the name for a generic client that wanted to remain anonymous was Mr. Johnson. In Germany, the name that they go by is Herr Schmidt. It's kind of like an Alan Smithy type situation, but for people who are hiring Shadowrunners, that kind of deal. Very well, Herr Schmidt. You have some business for me? Indeed, I have a job for your team. A simple matter. Judging by what I have heard of your team, I imagine that they will be well suited to the task. Go on. The interests that I represent have learned that AG Chemi Europa is working on a company-wide project. Something very secret, very new. Reliable sources inform me that they're keeping a working prototype of this new venture at their Berlin facility. I see. And your employers wish to acquire this prototype for them? Naturally. What is this project? If you want my team to grab the prototype for you, they'll need to know what they're looking for. I'm not at liberty to say. I can tell you that the prototype has been branded MK6. I can also tell you that your team will find it on the 25th floor of the Berlin facility in the office of one Albrecht Haushofer. Further, I can assist your team in disabling building security and gaining access to the 24th floor. From there, however, they will be on their own. Such vagueness can be dangerous, Herr Schmidt. I will not commit my team to a run without a better understanding of what the job entails. Facing such dangers is the purpose of a Shadowrunner, Herr Amsel. Your team will be rewarded handsomely for their services. My employers have set aside 20,000 new yen for the job. Consider it hazard pay if you wish. Make it 25,000 new yen or look somewhere else. 22,500 new yen final offer. Very well. I will pass your offer on to my team. Are there any other further details that you can provide? Haushofer's office will be locked behind a vault door. The lock is old-fashioned, of the mechanical variety. I will provide your team with a copy of the key. I will also supply you with a little black box, a solid-state device that your team can use to override a variety of building systems. Your team will enter through the facility's underground garage. When your team has acquired the MK6, have them exit through the same garage. I will have a van there waiting to extract them. Thank you, Herr Schmidt. I will pass your offer on to my team. Good day, Herr Amsel. Yeah, let's accept the job. Seems like normal enough. We have the little black box. Oh, I thought this was one where we meet them at the coffee shop, but I think that must be later. We talked to everybody after the Humanist job, right? We went through the whole cruise bazaar, right? I think we did. Oh, we have a job here too, actually. Now that I think about it. Oh, shit. And we have that. Got your message about that missing shipment. How can I help? He nods. Aye, a gang from a nearby Kias has been hijacking shipments bound for the cruise bazaar. Taking money out of our pockets. I could easily help to stop this from happening. Your dear departed Monica used to provide encryption and information control for the cruise bazaar. Now that she's gone, we merchants have been having no end of trouble. The obvious answer is that a gang has been intercepting our communications. What kind of communications? Shipping manifests, payment orders, that kind of thing. A group with an agenda could use that information to set an ambush, and that's just what this gang has been doing. Several cargo trucks full of goods have already been hijacked en route to the cruise bazaar. I had a tracking device on the last shipment that I sent out. Containers full of weapons and medical supplies. Sure enough, it got taken and I've tracked it down to Gessenbrunnen. If you've never been there, it's a Kia built out of an old U-Bahn station and some old bunkers. Rumor has it, a new gang called the Robengeister is holed up there. I suspect that the two things are related. So I need you to go to Gessenbrunn and find the Robengeister and get our goods back. I can offer you 500 new yen for the task, and if you can recover a missing weapons shipment, I'll be able to sell you some better hardware too. Can you tell me anything else about this gang, the Robengeister? He frowns. Not much, I'm afraid. From what I've heard, the Robengeister are tricky. They have a reputation for stirring up trouble, then disappearing without a trace. I would tread carefully around Gessenbrunn if I were you. How do I get to Gessenbrunn? Just take the U-Bahn. The line still runs, though not many folks stop at Gessenbrunn anymore. The market there used to be something of a tourist attraction, but I think they've fallen in hard times lately. I'll take care of it. Good. It's about time I had some new inventory come in. And one more thing, Novacat. I'm gonna need you to go in light on this one. Take a friend along if you like, but no more than one. If you spook them, they can trash the merchandise. Best go quiet. Best go soon, too, before the trail goes cold. Alright. Yeah, I'll go now. And obviously we're going in with Glory. Coffee. Good. It's date night with Glory. I do like that I can hire other Shadowrunners. I don't know why I would do that. Wow, they are actually, hold on, considerably cheaper than they were in Shadowrun Returns also. Fucked up. Date night with best girl. Yeah. My favorite girl. Here comes my special girl. My favorite. It is a short train ride to Gessenbrunn. You exit the subway car, stepping onto the old, grungy platform. The place is deserted, though signs of life are everywhere. A gaping hole in the ceiling filters cool, hazy light in from above. To your right, a small plot of crops struggles to endure in the cold and the limited light of the station. Trash and junk litters the platform. It's clear this place hasn't had anything resembling a janitorial staff in quite some time. Somewhere in this old rundown U-Bahn station lies the entrance to Gessenbrunn Kias, and hopefully some leads on the whereabouts of the Robengeister and Gunnari's missing shipment. Yeah, I'm excited about this one. This job's cool. Do I have karma? No, not. Stop. Don't tell me I have karma when I have 1 karma, motherfucker. The old fluorescent grow lights are... Grow lights? Glow lights? Wait, hold on. Wait, is it gone now? Oh, fuck. Grow lights? Oh, grow lights, because it's a garden. Like a grow up. Got it. That's far enough, friend. An older man raises his hand, squinting as you approach. To his left, a young orc shifts his weight, resting one hand casually on a pistol at his hip. Both are dressed in what might be considered uniforms, but it is hard to tell for sure. We don't get many visitors down here these days. And you'll forgive me for saying, but, well, you don't really look like the type that usually comes through here. She looks fed, for one thing. The older man snorts. Indeed. So what brings you to Gessenbrunn, stranger? I'm visiting from the Rheinruhr Megaplex, and my friend Hans said the market here is second to none. I had to come see for myself. The older man smiles sadly. Well, maybe a few years ago that was true. These days, well, it's hard times all around, I suppose. But you're welcome to go on in, of course. Customers are always welcome. Oh, and talk to Corin if you want to hear some good stories about the market back in its prime. He's always happy to share a tale or two. The older man steps aside. Watch your step on the ladder there. Some of these steps get slippery when it's cold. Say, have you heard anything about a gang hiding out around here? A group calling themselves the Robengeister? A gang, eh? The man looks over at his partner, then back at you warily. After a moment, he steps slowly back in front of the entrance. No, we keep security pretty light around here. If a gang like that was running stuff through here, we'd know about it. Now look, we don't want any trouble around here. On second thought, maybe you should just move along and catch the next train back. Come to think of it, the market's closing pretty soon anyway. The last thing I want is to cause any trouble. You look like you have to deal with more than enough of that. Do you mind if I just take a quick look around? The guards exchange glances again. After a moment, the old man steps aside. Well, alright, I suppose no harm in that. Just watch yourself, okay? If you guys are seen looking for this gang of yours, it's more to a little militia here than you want to mess with. Alright. It's okay, I knew I could do that and get away with it. So there's Corin, I believe. Yeah. Drawers look to be handmade out of rusty sheet metal. Nothing of value catches your eyes within. This place looks like a shithole. Do people really live here? Hello? Goldfish! The woman starts a little at your approach, but she recovers quickly and beams brightly at you. The fox face on her headdress seems to grin as well. Her classically nasal American accent is obvious. Hey, kiddo. Share a drink with me? Sure, if you're buying. Awesome. Unfortunately, there aren't a lot of options here. They've got beer, homebrew, gin, and schnapps. Pick your poison. I've been drinking gin and tonics. Tonic cuts out some of the gas flavor. I think they've been distilling in old propane tanks. Yeah. I'll have one of those too, then. Sure thing, lady. He fills a tumbler full of cheap gin and dirty ice, splashes a bit of tonic in, and slides it across the bar. It has a slight gasoline smell to it. Drink it. The tonic covers up the gasoline flavor for the most part. It burns a bit going down. Listen, my name's Goldfish. What's yours? Call me Novacat. Nice to meet you, Novacat. Now that I've said my bit, what are you doing in a place like this? I'm looking for the Robengeister. Raven ghosts. Might be anything in Gessenbrunnen. Seems like everyone and everything down here is a ghost. Ghosts of the past, ghost trains, ghosts of thin folks pale for lack of sunlight. I need sunlight too. I like to joke I photosynthesize, but it just gives me so much energy. Energy these people don't have anymore. Her expression grows stern for a moment as she stares into her gin and tonic. Maybe I've been down here long enough. Maybe I'm a ghost too. Alright, that's it, Fraulein. You're officially cut off. Your total is 36 new yen. Can I at least buy something for my friend here? She's been talking with me a bit and hasn't had anything. That's not true. That's absolutely not true. No, you're cut off. I don't want you even sipping out of it. Dude, chill. Forget I asked. She turns to you with a shrug. Sorry I couldn't get you anything else, but thanks for being a pal. No problem. Your name's Goldfish. Of course I want to hang out with you. The man before you is of average build and in nondescript dress. He's leaning against the old wooden cabinet, reading a book. As you approach, he looks up and casts a warm smile in your direction. Guten Tag! The name's Corin, friend. Wow, that looks like Marcus, Detroit Become Human. Wow, that looks like Marcus, Detroit Become Human. Can't say I've seen you around these parts before. Just passing through, or... What can you tell me about this place? Gessenbrunnen. Well, it's my home for one, and we've got a small bar set up over there. But of course, you'll want to know about the market. His eyes light up. It used to be something to behold, my friend. One of the grandest markets in the city. You can buy nearly anything in these stalls for the right price. It's a real shame, but little by little, things slowed down. Folks stopped taking the subway line so much. But I guess that's the way of the flux. Have you seen a shipment of weapons pass through here recently? His face falls. Wish that I had, friend. It's too bad. This place used to be soaring with commerce. But now hardly anything passes through here, I'm afraid. Well, I don't think David Cage stole Marcus's design. I think Marcus just looks like an actual guy. The actual guy that played him. What was his name? Hold on. What's that fool's name? Detroit Become Human Marcus. Actor. Jesse Williams. That's the guy. Folks around here are lucky enough to have a full meal at the end of the day. Tough times, I suppose. No, that's a little bit cold. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope things turn around for the better soon. Yeah, me too. Thanks for the friendly words, though. Most folk that come through here are either looking to bum a quick handout or steal what they can before disappearing down the line. Can I do anything to help? No, I don't think so, friend. But I thank you for the gesture. The man squints at you. He looks thoughtful. Say, have you ever heard the story of Schinderhannes? I'm not sure. Schinderhannes was an outlaw centuries ago, back in the Napoleonic days. See, Schinderhannes was a thief. A greedy one, if you believe the stories. He and his gang raided up and down the Rhine, stealing for themselves. But something happened. The people of Rhineland, they were inspired by Schinderhannes. In time, they hailed him as a hero. He was stealing from the French, you see. He chuckles, then continues. I think something happened then. Something surprising, even to Schinderhannes. I think because of this, perhaps, he became the hero people wanted him to be. Maybe he did start stealing from the rich and giving to the poor. I don't know. The history books are confusing, to say the least. At any rate, the point is, friend, I think that maybe, if enough people believe something to be true, it can change the truth of that thing. Perhaps if enough people here in Gessenbrunnen have a hope to believe in, then our fate will change as well. Until then, well, we continue on. Don't you mean Robin Hood? Ha! No, you would think, but that is an altogether different tale, I assure you. Much more romanticized. Now, is there anything else I can help you with? I'm looking for information. Ever heard of a gang called the Robingeister? Certainly. They've been spinning quite a tale in these parts of late. Hard to know anything for sure, though. One rumor says the hijacked freight out of Frankenfurter Tor. Then the next day, you hear about a sighting down at Alexanderplatz. Hell, just yesterday I heard someone claim they saw a member of the Robingeister speed by in the U-Bahn tunnel clinging to the side of a train car. Ha! He leans closer. Between you and me, that's probably a gang called Surf Turf. Strange ones, those. I heard they implant suction cups to their hands and feet. I guess they really like hitching rides in the U-Bahn trains? He shakes his head with amusement. That's the Flux State for you, though. Full of the strange and unexpected. I'll be going now. What a cool guy.